Is this a wish wash?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. You want to be in this? Homie?
Welcome to Wish Wash
Wish wash.
with Ethan and Evan.
And Ellie dog. And Ellie on a puppy dog.
Got a mysterious black bag.
A black bag this time, that's different.
We have a hat. Superman hat. Action Comics Superman hat.
Oh man. Look at the
It's a flex fit.
look at the cursive work on the action.
That is
that-
mediocre.
Does that say action? Yeah, I guess it does.
Yeah,
Like that end is kind of. It doesn't really look like it says action, but
is
the letters are a little close.
quality work.
Kind of looks like they all scrubbed together. Action Comics Superman, the best Superman.
I feel so cool right now.
You look pretty cool. That is one of the better looking hats I've seen, and it's even got some crap all over the bill, so like that's good too. It says flex fit, so I'm assuming it's a one size. Yeah, it's got the cool little gold strap on it. That thing is how much was that? Oh, he's Jeremiah's a little. He got a VR machine, watching a lot of porn over there. We don't know what kind. It's best we don't ask, but
We just leave him.
It's all
Leave it
flash
to it.
porn.
it's all flash porn. Good. Ooh. So that means it's quick and over fast, huh?
It's already over. Oh,
Hey, did you know the Flash's mom died when he was young and
What?
his dad was wrongfully in prison?
that's new information. We don't get hit over the head with that
I
in
didn't
every
know.
single
I didn't know.
story ever.
So with Superman's hat, Superman, you know, his mom didn't die. Well, yeah, his mom died when he was a baby, and his
Yeah.
dad, and he's kind of got the most like depressing emo backstory, I guess, since like his whole
He's an outsider.
his whole
He's an
planet's
alien.
gone. But he's got like so many family members now going on there that it's not too big of a deal. Watch out, dude. She's gonna get you. Especially with that Superman hat on. She sees it. She's like, oh, you Superman?
You tough?
You're gonna lose if you have a contest on who backs away
Oh,
first.
she blinked.
She'll stay right there.
She is eyeing me. Like,
Because
do you want? Do you want the hat,
She's
Ellie?
in her space.
Do you want the hat?
She does want that.
There you go, Ellie.
Ellie. She's looking at you like that because she's waiting for you to tell her about Martha.
What name? What was that name?
Martha. We can't talk. We don't talk about Martha here. We don't talk about Martha here.
Ellie. Why
Okay,
did you say
so
that name?
Do we have any more? Yeah, see, I thought I saw this on the side. I don't know if this is noticeable on there, but the stitching, kind of the coloring on it's a little, it's fading away.
Yeah,
a bit. This was,
$1.
$1.
This was $1.
So, I mean, I guess it
It-
is a flexi fit.
Flexi
a
fit?
flex fit. I call them flexi fits because it's more fun to say
It
that.
looks like it might have been stitched by
I
Michael
just
J.
love,
Fox.
I just love the CTI on the cursive here because they are literally connected. It looks like
It's
an
all
M.
one thing.
It looks like a.
Well, you
giant
know they
M.
have machines pumping these out, right? So like,
Yeah, dude, what are you gonna tell? That doesn't look like just that's an M.
oh, that's so bad.
That is not,
That's a fucking
they
M.
are, they are completely stitched together. And then the
Acme
end,
Comics.
the end doesn't even have a line to connect it, so it looks like two L's.
Ugh.
So it's definitely looking like
So they
It's
should
a
have made the
mole.
fonts a little bit bigger for their
Ammo
video.
Comics.
Ammo Comics. So this is they definitely were like, we ain't getting sued for this shit. We ain't getting sued for making this. And that's why the S, it goes upward. The S goes up instead of just straight in.
Oh,
You
yeah.
see right there.
So
They knew what they were doing.
it's
They
not
knew how to
official.
stay away from-
This is a Fuperman hat.
Yeah, but to people that aren't familiar, it's passable.
It's good enough.
It's passable. Here's what we can do here.
So
We
you know
can
the best
compare-
part about my VR helmet? It comes with a giant Superman S on it that I can rip off
Here is
if I
the
ever need to
DC
and throw at
Superman
people.
S.
Oh,
There's the DC Superman S right there, and there is. I mean, I guess
It's pretty
okay.
close.
It does go up.
It's pretty
It's
close.
not terrible. It just looked
You
terrible.
want to try on the goggles? I was watching flash porn, so try not to.
You might be a little jarred when you put it on.
Yeah.
So anyway, everybody, this hat, it is 35% polyester, 65% cotton, made in China. Would like to be washed in 40-degree water.
So is this Chinese Superman? Is this what that is?
No. I hope so, though. Chinese Superman's pretty awesome. He's been very entertaining for me. How is it?
I'm getting to watch his mom die.
Oh, again?
no.
Now his dad's being wrongfully imprisoned.
Oh,
man.
no.
It's too early in the morning for that.
It's
You're gonna ruin
the
it.
saddest superhero story
You're gonna ruin
ever.
it.
Eventually
with
he's going
that.
to get laid, right? But it's not going to be until the second season.
How does Flash, like, I guess, is he able to slow himself? I guess.
He must be,
If he
right?
gets, yeah, I mean, I guess he could slow himself
I
down.
mean, do we really want to postulate about how the Flash has sex?
You know how awesome that could be if you could just, like,
Just like
get
vibrate
in,
Dwayne.
get in, like, 2 or 3 pumps.
But for you,
get
it
out.
would be hours. Think about that. Like to like use.
No,
your
but like
Flash
with the
power.
speed you would have, like 2 or 3 pumps would be more than efficient. Like she'd be happy, you could roll.
I don't know. Some
And you could
women
just,
are
like-
really hard to please. I imagine Felicity Jones is really hard to please.
There's a lot of women who are attracted to the Flash because they think of him as just a human vibrator.
That's true
That-
because
yeah.
he can make himself kind of like vibrate and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what about Vibe? Like the vibrator.
I know that I forgot what we were just talking about besides
Jesus.
the Flash.
Flash's sex life.
No, I know we were talking about Flash's sex life, but you said something
Chinese Superman, probably.
during this Flash's sex life that wasn't as much about
Felicity
Flash's.
Jones. or
Felicity Jones.
Yeah.
That's a chick from Rogue One, isn't it?
No, you're thinking
Did
of
I think of-
Felicity Smoke.
God damn it! I have Rogue One on the brain. We're seeing it tomorrow. This is all being filmed on
Felicity
the same day.
Smoke has that kind of like nerdy, cute look going to her, but I feel like if I ran into her in a bar dressed and looking like that, like I probably wouldn't give it a second glance.
No.
But like, because
I
her
mean, I
puns,
wouldn't- I
her
wouldn't
puns on Arrow are getting
mind.
a little overbearing for me. They're a
Yeah.
little too heavy now.
Her best episodes
trying too
are
hard
episodes
with her.
where she's in Flash, right? Like
No,
that's from
no.
her-
Her best episode
the
was
one
the
she's
season
not in.
ender where she got shot up in the limousine.
Yeah, that was great, and she was paralyzed
Like
for
to
like
death?
all
Yeah.
of 2 months. And
No.
then
Oh,
that,
she was just
that
shot.
whole thing,
Unfortunately, not.
she was paralyzed, and the whole purpose of that was so that they could make it more emotional when she breaks up with Oliver and she's able to stand up.
But-
that was the whole purpose of her getting paralyzed, so she could stand up and be like,
Wiggle your big toe. Wiggle your
I'm
big
not
toe.
marrying you. And now her new boyfriend that we got to see for 2 episodes and got no character building and no
Oh, isn't that
character
the Adam
development,
guy?
he's dead.
Oh,
Yeah.
Adam's dead.
That happened.
Or
No, not
different
Adam.
No.
She in this new season, she has a new boyfriend who works on the police, and you see none of him the whole season except when she needs to get something from the police. She'll go to him and she'll be like cutesy, like, oh yeah, like, I need it for like this blah blah blah. And
So
she'll,
what
like,
we
lie to
really
him,
want to see
and he
is
knows
her and
something's up.
Supergirl make out.
She finds out that he finds out that she works with Flash, which works with Arrow, which pretty much means he's gonna die soon. And sure enough,
Yeah.
like an episode later, and we're all supposed to give a shit, even though the guy's got maybe a total
He
of
was
like
just a space filler.
4.5
anyways.
minutes of. It was almost as emotional as in Agents of Shield when what's his name? See, I don't even know his name. What's his name died at the end of last season. The newest member that we were
Yeah.
supposed to
Well,
care
if we're
about.
going to talk about Flash on a Wish Wash, we might as well bring out the toy. Here you go.
Oh, he's coming back out. Hey, Knife. Did you know that my mom died when I was a child and my dad was wrongfully imprisoned? Oh.
Welcome to the Flash channel, where we talk exclusively about the Flash on all of our videos.
You probably don't care, Knife, because you're a knife and you can't talk back. But I told you anyway. So you can go tell that monster bottle over there.
No,
or that
you know.
hat.
Hey, Monster Bottle.
Hey, Monster Bottle, I know that you're an inanimate object. You can't talk and you can't hear. And I'm pretty much talking to myself, but did you know my mom died when I was young and my father was wrongfully imprisoned? Pass it along. Barry Allen.
So,
Just give me Wally West.
let's get back to
Just
the
fast forward the show to him not being Kid Flash anymore, because that Kid Flash costume,
It's
I would be
It's terrible.
embarrassed as an actor to be wearing that. I get it's like... Wally West.
Let's get back to
Just
the
fast
sup-
forward the show to him not being Kid Flash anymore, because that Kid Flash costume,
It's
I would be
It's terrible.
embarrassed as an actor to be wearing that. I get it's like, well, you know, it's a high profile CW show and like it'll get my name out there, but it's like,
Can you name one actor whose
That's what
career's
you'll be.
taken off from a CW show?
no, there's none that I can
I mean,
think of.
Stephen Amell got to be in a big time Hollywood movie. With
Oh yeah,
Ninja
he
Turtles.
was in the Turtles. That's how it always goes. It's funny because you'll see these shows, and these shows will be really popular with like a certain demographic, and like those actors are like, "Oh, I'm so good now. Like I'm leaving this show, and I'm gonna have tons of Hollywood opportunities." And then you never see them again. And then when they're like 47, they pop up on like Hallmark Channel.
So-
and made for Hallmark.
So that's why the
movies.
Supernatural guys have never left, right?
I
Like they're
will
just like,
say-
they're
They're
do this
smart.
forever. Yeah.
Well, they went and did their own like they went and did their own horror remakes, and both of them bombed at the box office. And they're like, yeah, I'll go back to doing the show.
I will say, though, Stephen Amell's cousin, who is the original Firestorm, Robbie Amell, he's been doing some Netflix-type stuff, and he's actually been doing pretty decent.
He was just like a... He wasn't a full-time character on the show, though, right?
No. He was the original Firestorm, and then he just had a Netflix original movie called OZARK. Came out.
I saw that on there.
And it's sort of like a brain bender. It's really good. I liked it.
Okay.
If any of them on the CW right now have a chance at like stardom after that show, it would probably be Stephen Amell. Since he's like gotten pretty well known for like doing his own stunts and like working hard and doing all that. Grant Gustin will not be the one. I remember laughing my ass off when there was a like Comic-Con or some kind of interview with Stephen Amell where he was like being kind of pissy because Grant Gustin didn't get cast to be the Flash in the DC movie. And I remember hearing that and be like, okay, you're sticking up for your friend, so I'll let that one pass. But like, you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, no, I mean, Ezra Miller's not much better of a choice, but like, you know, Grant Gustin.
Well, they want to make sure that they separate those universes, right?
Well, it's that, and
the continuity wouldn't be the worst thing ever, though.
He's a good TV actor. I don't see him as a movie actor.
Well, he's new. I mean, maybe... I think it'll be like the Supernatural effect, where like...
Can we talk about how much he looks like John Mulaney?
He does. John Mulaney.
Or is it John Mulaney? Or the comedian guy?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Is it John Mulaney?
Yeah.
I think it is John Mulaney. And he talks like this, and like he thinks he's a small man boy.
He'll probably get better, but I always look at like the Supernatural effect, where like if you watch the first couple seasons of Supernatural, like Dean and Sam, like they're not bad actors, but they're not really all that good. And now when you watch the show, like they're so in the mode and have been doing it for so long, like it's all pretty. And that's how it always works with those guys, like because they're newer, young actors, they don't have much experience, and like as they keep playing the role, so he'll get better. He's fine. He just like. I wouldn't trust him to be. I mean, you know, at
well,
this point,
it's a good thing
like,
that you're a big Hollywood producer, Evan, because
I'm just saying my own personal thing. Well, at this point right now with DC movies, like I guess it doesn't really matter who they are.
I mean, so at this point, everyone has seen what we can do with 30 minutes and a camera. If you watch the holiday special, which may or may not have come out at this point, depending on when this video comes out. So you can judge that.
Oh yeah, are you putting that on Christmas?
Yeah, it comes out on Christmas.
Oh, Christmas. Yeah, that was a,
Oof. I mean, we've all seen it at this point, right? Like, I've showed it to you guys.
I've seen that edit that you sent, that test.
Yeah, basically I didn't change it at all. I did a couple of, like, cosmetic things, but other than that, it's about
that's good.
The same.
Yes, it is a, I think
we'll get
a lot of recognition for that Christmas video.
Oh, we're going to get at least 30 or 40 views.
We will get blown up for it,
yeah.
And we'll probably have to do a couple non-Christmas sequels.
Oh, gosh. You're going to have to dress up like Santa forever.
I didn't even really dress up like Santa, though.
You had a hat.
I had a hat, but otherwise it was like gray pants, combat boots, a red sweater.
And a machine gun.
And a dark brown.
After that drops, I'm expecting a call from Spielberg.
Oh yeah.
Or James Cameron.
That was our Hitchcock, right? Or that was our who's the guy who made like the world's greatest movie, Rosebud. What movie am I thinking of?
Rosebud.
Yeah, what was the movie? It was about that oil guy. Fuck, what? Goddamn! It's the world's greatest movie that like everyone thinks is like really awesome. It's really old.
No Country for Old.
No, it's like super old, and I don't know why I can't think of it. It's gonna be my. God, just look up Rosebud because I can't think of it right now.
I think
Citizen Kane. It's gonna be my Citizen Kane. Is what it is. Everyone's gonna.
I think that. Yeah, I think that Ethan's performance in that will easily get him a guest role on The Flash playing the greatest villain of DC history, which would be Boomerang.
Better than Captain Cold.
Boomerang's already been on, but they'll bring Boomerang. You can play Boomerang
was so
with an Australian
lame.
accent. Yeah. Who directed, or what am I looking up? The director of Rosebud?
No, director of Citizen Kane, who's everyone should know, right?
Citizen Kane
Orson Welles.
Orson Welles wrote it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he did.
No, I'm sure. Yeah, Orson Welles directed it.
Yeah, no. And there was like this whole big thing about how like nobody would show the movie because it was directly like parallel to some real guy's life who was still alive. And
we're born alone. We live alone. We die alone. Only through our love and friendship can we create the illusion of the moment that we're not alone. If you want a happy ending,
so this started out as an unboxing video, right? How long have we been going?
Not long enough.
Let's just keep keep going.
I still got 30 minutes until I can go pick up comics, so...
So, yeah, let's just keep talking. It'll be the podcast. Fuck it. The Wish Watch podcast.
That's all that matters to me is making it to 10 a.m. so I can go pick up my funny books. I got a lot to pick up. Why don't we... You know, that's what we can talk about. We can talk about comic pickups today, and you guys can see how serious shit gets for Ethan and I. Or for me. For me. This is a nice, just little showing of all that I've got to pick up today. And I don't want to hold that up for too long, but that's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So 12 books?
And yeah, I would show you Ethan's list, but
it wouldn't fit on your phone.
I don't make lists for Ethan because he maxes out at 4 most weeks. So it's kind of easy to keep that up here.
It's hot fire
compared to
spit on camera.
No, this is all my fault.
Out on stream,
this is actually all my fault because 1, 2, 3, 4 of these are like just random shit that I on my own have decided I want to get. So it's not like Ethan and I sat down with a giant list of comics and I was like, oh, there's 30 that we need to get. I'll get 26 of them. It's not like it went that way. The whole thing started as like DC Rebirth. I think I was a little ahead, but not by much.
You had like 1 or 2 extra.
It has expanded into Image Comics. It has expanded into Marvel stuff. And really, like, I might as well start greasing myself up right now because I'm going to get a giant fist when I walk in there because Inhumans vs. X-Men being $6 is a fucking travesty to me. I cannot believe I'm going to spend it, but I will. So yeah, that's all I wanted to mention about comic books.
Did you guys see the AT&T commercial that has the actors and actresses from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and what was it? It was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Arrow, I think. It's got like side characters from both those shows talking about how texting and driving and taking pictures and driving is super unsafe. It was like the girl that plays that earthquake chick on the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
That plays Quake.
Quake.
Chloe.
It was that girl and like
Chloe
two actors from Arrow.
She was really cute, girl. I'm not really into her right now.
Well, the thing is, I hate her character so much on that show. I stopped watching like mid-season.
Dude, with a cover like that, how can I not start picking up Totally Awesome
Oh
Hulk?
my god.
Is that for real? Like they have a Hulk that's Asian and has like a faux hawk? Like is that a real thing?
Wait. That Hulk was in one of the other comics that we were just reading.
My favorite
for like a
panel.
He
was in issue 1 of something.
Yeah, like he was just like there for like 2 pages.
It was a Marvel day. Yeah, well, obviously it was a Marvel day. I think it was Ghost Rider. Because it was something where like they found some like purple goop.
Yeah,
and he fought the purple goop. I'm pretty sure that was Ghost Rider.
So Ghost Rider's head is metal now, right? Like that's
it looks awful in my opinion.
Yeah,
I don't really like it.
It's supposed to be a skull. Like that's
it's like a metal. It's like a metal mask now.
It looks like the helmet from Gladiator.
Yeah, that's what
It was very weird to me because like already I kind of lost interest in
Has he done a penance stare yet? Because that's like my favorite part of the whole thing. Even the horrible Nicolas Cage
What was it
stuff.
called? Totally Awesome.
The penance stare is one of the things that they're like writing out.
Why? It's his only cool power, other than like being a guy with a whip that's on fire. He
Might
doesn't
be,
even have a motorcycle.
I already was
like
a
car.
Yeah, he drives a car. Like that's his superpower. Guy on
the car's
fire
not like the worst thing in the world to me because like on the show they made it look pretty. I mean, it looked cool. Like car and bike isn't that big of a deal to me, but like I was already iffy on reading that comic because it was like taking from the Shield, but it's really not because like when you read it, like nothing that's happened on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. plays a part. And in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. he doesn't have a metal head either, so like I don't know where the way of thinking. It's like I totally almost wanted to be like a Twitter troll and like troll the artist and be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But I'm sure there's already like millions of Marvel nerds that have already done that for me, so I don't have to really go into it. But
there's one thing nerds don't like: it's change.
That's
I
right.
can attest to that.
I mean, it's not like so bad that I'd be like, oh, I'm not reading that because he has a metal head. But like for me, I mean, I know it was only in issue 1, but it was the same thing I thought with Venom.
While we're doing a podcast, can we do? This is a sealed envelope. This is the day before Rogue One comes out. Can we do Rogue One predictions on this episode of Wish Watch that has been everything? You guys want to do that?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Rogue One
what's your
predictions?
Yeah, or just like, what do you think's gonna happen? You know.
I think that the Rebels are going to steal the Death Star plans.
Okay.
And die.
And how many do you think it's going to be the best Suicide Squad movie this year? Because I can't wait to use that over and over again.
My hope, like it isn't so much a prediction, but whoever they kill off, I hope they're able to make it more gut wrenching.
Yeah.
than the Slipknot? Is that his name?
Oh, you mean Head Explosion guy?
Yeah.
Okay, I forget who his name is, but he's the guy with like the giant machine gun in the trailers of Rogue One. He's the Slipknot guy. Like, he's got to be, right? He just dies because he doesn't...
His death in Suicide Squad was just like, oh, okay, so he's dead now. So I'm hoping that in Rogue One, whenever they kill somebody from the squad off, that it's just like, oh no, they died, crap.
But they can't stop forever because it's war, right? And Saving Private Ryan, they didn't stop every single time someone died. They were just like, well, Vin Diesel died. Yeah. I mean, but the way they make it awesome is they're like, oh, well, he was sprawled out there for like 10 minutes of screen time with a sniper. Yeah. I want like smart stuff like that. Evan, are you excited to see Darth Vader kill a bunch of fools?
Well, for one, like I feel like it's probably pretty obvious that the majority of the Rogue team is going to die.
Of course,
considering that
many
I know when I'm about to say like there's not going to be a sequel. Like well, obviously because this is the prequel to New Hope, but that doesn't mean they couldn't.
We could see a really old
they can very easily like take a character that survives and do like a Rogue One Part 2 where that character goes to some other place to do something. So
if this is
they can easily franchise it if they want.
I will not go. I love Star Wars. You guys know I love Star Wars to a fault. But if at the end of this movie it's left like hanging open and there's like another sequel somehow between this movie and I won't go see it.
Well, it's moved up to an 85% out of 158 reviews.
So I'll say it again on camera that what I want the final scene of Rogue One to be is the opening scene of like Leia's ship getting attacked.
You know they'll do it too because of the nostalgia. So like, at some point you're gonna see that.
I want the opening scene of New Hope to be the closing scene of Rogue One.
See, this was a positive review, but this sentence right here, and I'm not using it as in like, oh, I'm making my opinion based off it. Yeah. But this sentence to me like sounds about like what I'm expecting. And like I said, this was a positive. This isn't bad, but like. It says, Rogue One is Star Wars for hardcore fans who felt left behind by the prequels, but it's got little to offer casual viewers behind competent, uninspired thrills. My thing is that, like, look, it's Star Wars. I know what I'm getting into with Star Wars. I shouldn't expect some, like, great character development, great character story. I should just go in there, watch shit explode, see space fights, and be happy. But Empire proved that differently. Yeah. Empire proved that, like, there can be a good Star Wars story that also has action, also has CGI fun,
and also leaves a huge cliffhanger that made everybody mad. Yeah, like the only bad part about that movie, according to my parents, because I wasn't alive, but
that's
that was the only bad part. They were like, we have to wait 5 more years to watch the conclusion of this movie, and it's got Ewoks in it. Come on.
That's my whole thing with it. Whether it's from like seeing movies for so long and being a big fan of movies anymore, like. I can't be satisfied anymore by just like empty action. Like, you know, it's like I'm at a point now where like going to see movies in theaters is such a fucking awful experience these days that like if I'm going to go do it. No, for me it is because you get there, it's 10 minutes. Like if the movie's supposed to start at 3, at most of the theaters in Springfield, at least, you got your thanks for watching, flick, da 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 da. You got that. You've got the still time to go to concessions. You got the fucking movie countdown. You got 10 minutes of crap.
Well, the theater we're going to see Rogue One isn't like that because it's reserved.
Right, but I mean, like, I'm just talking about I'm not talking about like that's one
the movie's supposed to start at 3,
and it doesn't.
The actual movies are going to start until 3:30.
Yeah,
right, but that's that one, and that's fine. But I mean, at most bigger theaters, you have that 10 minutes, and then you have like 20 to 30 minutes of trailers, which is way too fucking long in this day and age because you're very rarely going to see a trailer for a movie you haven't already seen because everything's on the internet. Bigger release movies, you might see like a fun little teaser. Like I guarantee Star Wars will probably have that new teaser that came out for Guardians of the Galaxy. It'll probably have a teaser for... It'll probably have that Spider-Man teaser. That's what I mean. Like, they release these things that those are going to be in front of it. So, trailers aren't what they used to be where you actually saw things for movies you didn't know about. So, like, it's a 45-minute ordeal just to even get to the start of the movie. So, like, if you're going to see a 2-hour and 15-minute movie like Rogue One, you're actually going to be in that theater for roughly 3 hours and 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Is it 2 hours long? I don't think it's
That's why it's a miserable experience
for me.
One. That's why it's, like, going to see movies in theaters, like, I backed off. I mean, like... I've seen maybe one movie in theater in the last couple months since I left here.
But did you see the pinnacle of film, Ben-Hur? The reboot.
No.
The remake.
But that's what
I
I
saw
think.
that movie in the theater.
I mean,
because that's what my dad wanted to go see.
If Rogue One can tell a story and be interesting and actually give a shit about the characters and I actually care about them dying, like, then I'm happy.
Okay.
But if you just give me like a little if you give me TFA where it's bare
Here's
bones,
the thing: you're gonna
very
get a lot of
story.
you're gonna get a lot plot development around the main girl, right? The Felicity girl, Ursa, or what was
Well, I
her
hope
name?
so because that was the
Jyn
biggest
Ursa.
issue with TFA is that I didn't give a
But
shit.
all the
about a
other
single
characters,
character
you're
in
probably
that.
not gonna get a ton. Like I don't think.
I didn't care about a single person. I didn't even care about they did nothing with the characters in TFA because it wasn't about the characters in TFA. It was about blowing shit up, making it cool, making all the kids happy, making them want to go see future movies. Like it was more about that. Maybe part 2 will be the new trilogy's Empire. And it will be more focused on the story now that they've got people hooked. So that's fine with TFA. But with this, I'm just tired of fucking explosions, man. Like, I like them. I enjoy them just as much as another person. I'm not saying I hate CGI.
I like practical explosions.
I hate when movies focus on CGI over telling a story.
Well,
so
when they try
The
to use
Force Awakens didn't do that, though.
it's when they try and use the action to make up for the lack of story.
Yeah.
I know, but, regardless whether it's CGI or practical, TFA was 80% fun sci-fi action and 20% story.
It was a big...
When you've got a classic character like Han Solo getting killed and very little people give a shit about it,
I don't know, there were a lot of people that gave a shit about it just because you didn't give a shit about it.
Dude, it was all over. That was one of the biggest critiques of the movie was that, that scene was so poorly executed. That,
it wasn't...
I don't mean people didn't care that Han Solo died. I meant that, what they were going for to accomplish in that scene
wasn't as gut-wrenching. What people wanted,
They were going for an "I am your father" moment.
They were going for. I think what they were going for is Spock dying in the radiation chamber, and then Kirk going Anakin going.
Well, something along those lines. They were going for that
super
super epic moment that would be remembered for all time.
So they didn't. It didn't.
But
we got
if they were going for that,
traitor.
If they were going for that, they should have killed a character that we kind of liked. That was a minor character, and saved the Han Solo thing for a later movie because that's what was so important about with Darth Vader.
Han Solo got no character development the entire film. We didn't really care. Everyone cares about Han Solo because everyone loves.
Well, that's what I mean.
But Finn had more of a story that would have mattered if he'd have died at the end.
Well, Finn's story was a joke to me from the beginning because why the fuck would the Empire be so crazy about going after one goddamn stormtrooper that was a janitor? That's unrealistic. They would not spend all that effort trying to get him, dude. They'd just be whatever.
No. They didn't care about him. They cared about the people who he was with at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't care about him.
They cared about him as well, though, dude. They made
the only reason that they were the only reason that they were freaking out is because he was with Poe. He was with the plans. It was all combined. No. He wasn't
I know, but he was unimportant to that story.
My bigger stink is with Phasma.
Yeah,
that was pretty bad.
With how much
that can't be
she
fixed.
got played up, and all those toys and action figures that they sold, and they were look at this stormtrooper.
Look at this Boba Fett too.
She's so special. And you're not going to learn anything about her.
And she's going to go away. Do you think she's going to come back? She's got to come back, right?
She will, and they're going to try to fix her. But to me, that scene, she's ruined.
It's too late.
They can make her the biggest, baddest motherfucker.
She was supposed to be the biggest
movie.
badass. I'm gonna kill you. Okay, I'll do what you want.
They can make her the baddest character in the next movie, and to me, I'm still. It's no, you ruined her, man. You gave all this lead up. This was me a character, and this character gave up like a bitch.
The
with
actress,
very little, very little.
Whenever they had all the crew together, right, and they were doing all those interviews before the movie, and the actress is kind of sitting there, and they're all talking about how their characters are really cool. And then
I love it so much.
And then they go to her, and she's just oh yeah, well I'm really excited for this movie. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about, and everyone's oh my god, it must be so important. It must be so important. And it's no, she just didn't do anything.
Well, that's where that was what we were saying with that. I mean, that's what was so cool in whenever Darth Vader and Luke had their big showdown because they had 2 to 2.5 movies build to that. So when you get to it, you're that's awesome. There was nothing that built to that scene between Han Solo and his son besides him and Leia kind of having a brief conversation about raising a little emo entitled bitch. And then you watch Kylo Ren sulk around the ship. And I get it that that was his big moment because they didn't believe that his fate. I get why it was a big moment.
But you're right, it wasn't received.
It wasn't received.
You got Chewbacca and all these other people just standing to the side watching it. It's
not helping.
That's so unrealistic. Just fucking shoot him. Like, Han Solo would have got shot one step onto that bridge, but everybody just puts their guns down, like, oh, let's see what's going to happen.
Well,
and then,
I don't know. There's a big history of stormtroopers not shooting people in Star Wars.
I know, but, like, I just mean, look, I say negative things about it. I did not dislike TFA. I don't think it's a bad movie. I've watched it 3 or 4 times since it came out.
It just has problems like everything.
I have a fun time with it, but I'm critical of it, and not because... Like, to me, that's what a fan of something should be. Rather than being a little fucking fanboy who will, like... No, I'm not talking about you, but I mean, like... I'm not talking about you, but there's, like, a lot of fanboys out there that will defend every little aspect of it just to defend it because they feel like if they say something negative, they've, like, ruined themselves. Like, to me, like, the actual sign of a fan is somebody who can walk out and be like, okay, I enjoyed that, but... I had issues with it that I hope they improve in the next one. I don't think there's anything...
The thing is, I don't want to like hear anything bad about a movie right after I've seen it. Because it affects how I like the movie. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, and I go to movies to enjoy them. I don't go to movies to like be super, super duper critical, and I think that's why I enjoy them so much, even if they're really horrible. Afterwards, like, give it a day, give it an hour, and I'm like... All right, yeah, these were some problems, you know.
So yeah, and
unless the movie's like awful, like unless it's Gods of Egypt, then I can sit in the theater and be like,
I try to be the same way with that. Like a lot of movies I took.
Why is there's? He's just running. Wait, why are we all over? It doesn't. Oh, the Earth is flat. That's pretty cool. But why? Would you, I know.
Well, see, that's what like. I mean, if I know a movie's gonna be like a piece of shit and I don't care and I'm just like whatever, I'll go see it because I feel like seeing a movie. That's all fine. But I mean, like. For me, and I agree with that like, if I'm going to see a movie and, like, I'm trying to be open-minded about it...
And for other people,
someone like me is with you, and you're, like, making fun of it the whole time. But then there's, like, movies like Suicide Squad, where, like, I walk into that theater and I'm like, this is not going to be good. Like, that's not me being negative. Yeah. It's like, there is nothing that I have seen leading up to walking into this theater that should give me any hope or optimism that this is going to be good. There's been shitloads of recasts. Half of the cast that are playing these characters are not good choices to play these characters. Reshoots, all of these things. It's like, so my way of having fun with this movie is I'm going to sit here and laugh at it while I'm watching it. And maybe I'll enjoy it if I can look down to Ethan and Jeremiah and, like, laugh at certain things. Like, maybe that's a better way for me to... Because it's like, I watched that and I'm like, Will Smith is Deadshot. That's a bad casting. The Harley Quinn was fine. Like, all of them were bad casting, with the exception of Harley Quinn. So it's like, I know I'm not going to really enjoy this movie because these are characters that I like, that I feel like are being represented very poorly.
Hollywood, stop trying to make Jai Courtney a thing. Please.
Like, and then, like, it just boggles my mind that, like, you know, and again, I'm, like, a select group. There's a lot of people that go into a Suicide Squad movie. They're not looking for an amazing thing. They're just looking for fun action. And they got what they wanted out of Suicide Squad. Yeah. Clearly, with the fact that Will Smith and Deadshot are getting their own standalone film.
Oh, yeah, that's
like, clearly there's an audience for it. But I love, like... You know, there'll be the Marvel and the DC fanboys. Just like there's PlayStation and Xbox fanboys. And, like, those things always make me laugh. Because I'm, like, I'm reading something on the internet the other day where you almost just want to get involved. Because you've got this people being like, you know, people say that Suicide Squad wasn't a successful movie, yet it made more money than anything Marvel did domestically. And you're just like, no, it didn't.
Warcraft made $1 billion in China.
This guy, like, I actually responded to him, which I shouldn't have, because I know not to get involved. But I got in this back and forth with this dude on Twitter, because he's like, yeah, because I just saw it on there. It was like, oh yeah, all the Marvel fanboys out there, it must really get you butthurt that Suicide Squad was able to do better than Marvel, and, like, they didn't even have China. And I responded to him, I'm like, fuck are you talking about? Like, for one, like, every single Marvel movie this year made more than both Batman vs. Superman and Suicide Squad domestically. So what does China have to do with it? Like, in the country, the Marvel movies made more money.
In the countries, the English-speaking countries that they're made for, they made more money.
Exactly. It's like, in the U.S., Marvel made more money than DC on their films.
And the thing is, when they talk about U.S., they talk about a lot of the times they include, like, all the English-speaking countries that get it at the same time, like...
Batman vs. Superman and Suicide
Australia
Squad, at the moment, are tracking to be more successful internationally than Doctor Strange. But Civil War, like, still has them all beat. And this isn't me, like, defending Marvel. It's just, like, people get so caught up in what they like. That,
before you call us Marvel fanboys, they read more DC comics than anything.
That's true. Price point plays a part in that.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things where Marvel's good with film, DC's decent with television.
And animation. They've kind of been dropping off on animation, though.
They have been. I mean,
Killing Joke, and then they had a really funny.
DC does put out a whole lot more animated movies than Marvel does.
Well, one thing I will give to DC in terms of like releases for the year is I was up at Walmart yesterday. The fact I didn't buy it yesterday shocked me. I'll probably get it today. I saw that they have finally released the complete Batman Beyond animated series with Return of the Joker included, the standalone movie for $38.99. I think that is a very good price.
Wasn't it on Netflix for free though? Like
it's not on Netflix. It might
Batman Beyond was on Netflix.
It was. That's what I watched.
It's not on there anymore.
But it didn't have Return of the Joker with it.
Return of the Joker was fantastic.
Because I remember I finished that on Netflix and then downloaded Return of the Joker via sources.
Return of the Joker was an amazing animated Batman film. Batman Beyond was really good. I will never forget like the edginess of the beginning of it with like Bruce Wayne pulling a gun on somebody. And it's like, whoa.
What was that name that you said?
It's like Bruce Wayne doesn't do this. And then like that like gut wrenching, just like him standing there realizing that like I said I would never do that and I just did it. So it's clearly time for me to hang up the mail. And you're just like, oh,
done.
Bruce. No. You're so old now.
Hey, to be fair, if you're a vigilante that hasn't killed anyone with a gun in your entire career, and you get old, like you can pull a gun every now and then.
That's what it was so heavy for a cartoon. And when you're young and you watch it, it doesn't really resonate. But then when you watch it when you're a little bit older, you're like, that's so heavy, dude. That like this guy just picked up a gun and like the emotional response of that for him. Like this dude that's never believed in guns, never held a gun. Like realizing that he's too old and weak.
We'll sit back down real quick and we'll end this video.
That he's too old and weak.
This 30 or 40 minute long
Too
video.
old and weak.
All right, so how would you guys rate the Superman hat that we did not talk about for 99.9% of this video?
I give the Superman hat a out of what, 5? I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Just because that awesome stitching with making it an M instead of a CTI.
Yeah. Typically, the bad stitching would bring it down. But this stitching is so bad that it brings it back up, and I'll give it a 3 out of 5 also.
Okay. I didn't actually get to see it because I had my Flash VR on, so let me see. Let me see this. Ooh, this is kind of cheap, but it was only $1, So it says Flex Fit, right? Like, aren't Flex Fit like usually stretchy?
Typically, yes.
And not just held together by a clasp?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go 2 out of 5 because the bad stitching isn't novel enough for me. But for the price, it's a 2 out of 5.
Back up. And I'm going to, on the talks of early expectations for Rogue One, I'm going to say that it will be, I think it'll be better.
You think it'll be well received?
I think it'll be better than TFA.
Oh, you think?
I think that it will be...
Like filmatically or whatever?
I think fan-wise, just from what I've been reading, I think fan-wise it might be a little in the middle. In the middle from like crowd reception, considering that if it does take a more serious approach... I think there's going to be a lot of people that whine about that. They're going to be like, just give me my explosions and my Wookiees.
I'm already upset that they're not going to have a title crawl, but I don't know. I don't think that would have made it too Star Warsy or whatever.
I'm going to say, just from what I've seen and what I've read and what I feel about what I'm going to be seeing, I'm going to say that I think that I will enjoy it, but it won't be something that like is memorable and sticks with me. I think it'll be something that I walk out of the theater and I'm like, that was pretty good, and then I move on and don't think about it and forget about it. But we'll see. I don't even know when the hell I'll see it because I'm not fucking with it this weekend. I'm not going to deal with busy movies.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching this 40-minute. How long have we been filming? Like forever long episode of Wish Wash. We're going to title Wish Wash the podcast, the movie. Subscribe if you want to. Eventually, we're going to start doing podcasts again. Now that Ethan might actually be able to film with us, and we can all find a day to get here. Comment and let us know if you want any of these stupid toys that we've been playing with, and we might send them to you via the mail or whatever. Goodbye!